welcome to the channel. If this is your first time stopping by on this channel, we talk all things finance, all things investing, and we love to mix in a little travel along with that as well. Here in Bangkok, Thailand, just came from the grocery store on the way back to the apartment. But this video, let's talk about it. How do we invest in private credit using the stock market? So as traders, as investors, we can invest in entities that provide private credit. So we're not providing it. We're investing in those who do provide. The birds. Fly, pelican, fly. You killing me or what, man? No, but we're gonna talk about how to invest in private credit using the stock market. So here at the apartment now, and we're gonna dive right into this. All right, and we are back. We're back. Let's get into it. Private credit. How can we as retail investors invest in private credit without having to be the ones actually providing the private credit? Now, at this point, the big talk is what? 2 letters. AI. AI. I mean, that's the big talk. That's what everybody wants to invest in right now, and everyone should be investing. Let me say that. AI is definitely where it's at. But private credit, it's slept on. Not many people talking about investing in private credit. That's what this video is for. So stay tuned to the end. Now, there are those out there who may know what private credit is. There are those who may not know what private credit is. So let's talk about that briefly. Let's just say you're a small to medium-sized company. You've been doing really well, but you're at a point in your business where you just need some more money, man. You need some more capital in order to grow. And traditionally, you would have turned to a bank for that capital, for that loan. Nowadays, more and more of these small to medium-sized companies are going the private credit route to access capital. Now, you may say, well, high def, why? I mean, banks, everyone goes to banks for loans. Why aren't these companies still going to banks to get money? Well, one thing happened in 2008, and that was the great financial crisis. And I'm telling you, man, when that event took place, the Dodd-Frank Act came about. Regulations with these banks were tightened up. Capital requirements were introduced. And all of that made it much harder for these small to medium-sized companies to go the banking route to get that capital. Thus, the private credit sector emerges, okay? Now, basically what a private credit firm is doing is they're just providing a loan, but they're willing to take on more risk. So a riskier business where a bank won't want to touch it at this point or these days, your private credit firm will, okay? Or they may consider it way more than a bank would consider investing in a riskier business. All right, so with private credit firms, you have high interest rates, you have hefty fees. But if you're a small to medium-sized company, you see that, but you're like, well, hey, the bank is not going to give me money. I don't have a rich auntie. So private credit, what's going on? Hey, you know what I'm saying? You're thinking about going that route because that's what is going on these days. More and more companies are going that route, and they're getting funding. All right, they're getting capital. So they don't mind the hefty fees. They don't mind the high interest rates because that's the road of least resistance. That's where you have less red tape. All right. So when it comes to the stock market, there are, I would say, top five companies that you can look to invest in order to get into the private credit sector. Now, this is not going to be, option contracts, scalping, swing trading. This is going to be long-term hold, long-term investing. like a ETF, like, Vanguard ETF, like, you know, think about it like that. Set it and forget it. Okay, so let's go into it. We look at this chart, and my watch list here, I've got APO, BX, KKR, CG, RAES. All right, so now this chart here, Apollo Global Management Group. Let's start with them. APO. This is the chart for Apollo Management. Now, this is a weekly chart. So what I did was I drew this trend line. Okay, so we got a trend line right here on the weekly chart, high time frame, and I'm not looking to invest in this right now. I wouldn't get in right now at this price. Right now we're at 141.15. But I'm interested to see what happens when we come back down and touch this trend line. All right, so you can do what you want to do as far as when you get in, but this trend line, I'm watching that. I'm going to set an alert on this trend line. When price action touches this trend line, the buy button I will be hitting. Okay, so I'm waiting. But this video, I want you just to put these on your watch list if they're not already there, these companies, and you can, draw a trend line like we have here and kind of wait till it touches that. Or if you want to jump in now, you can, whatever you want to do. But I'm waiting until we touch this trend line. All right. So we've got Apollo Global Management. That's my number one of the top 5. That's the one that I like the most. All right. That's the one I would go the heaviest on. Number 2 is going to be BX, and that is Blackstone. Same thing. Weekly chart. And we have a trend line, and you can see we're above it. We're at 185.10, so we're at all-time highs, close to all-time highs. Again, I'm waiting for the trend line reaction. Blackstone. All right, let's go to the next one of my top 3, KKR. Same thing, you guys. Weekly chart, trend line drawn. I'm waiting for it to come down to this trend line. Now, the other 2 of these top 5 is CG, the Carlyle Group, and ARES Management Corporation. So now CG, as you can see here, we're at $67, but we are at all-time highs on the Carlyle Group. So I'm definitely waiting for a pullback. I like Carlyle as well, but I need to see a pullback on this. And for the Carlyle Group, I would like to see price action come down to $48, $49. Okay, so we're at 67 right now. So I need to see that bad boy come down about 20 bucks, before I'm considering investing in the Carlyle Group. All right, and we have the ARES, and here's the chart. Here we can draw a trend line just like this, and the same thing. So we got a nice trend line on these ticker symbols, and we can just wait. We can wait and see how price action is going to react when the trend line is touched. All right, so you guys, I just want to bring this video to you because, hey, AI is the big talk. Everyone is talking about AI, but this private credit sector is not being talked about, and I think it's very, very slept on. And when it comes to private credit, essentially you're investing in every sector because these private credit firms are giving loans to companies in every sector. So it's like you got your companies who need capital. You've got a private credit firm that's providing capital to these companies, and then you got me and you here who we can put our money over here into a private credit firm, and then they are taking money and putting it over here into different companies. And hey, these companies are that they're investing in, they are giving loans to, they are across all sectors. So when you invest in private credit, you are essentially investing in all sectors, which is a beautiful thing. Okay, so you guys, please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think. Do you know about private credit? What do you think about private credit? Drop it down in the comments. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And hey, man, I'm here in Thailand. I'm about to go grab some chicken and noodles and maybe a Leo. If you know what a Leo is, you know. If you know, you know. If you know, you know. All right, everybody. Hey, thanks for watching, and I will see you on the next video.